Melindra. I've always had a wonderful weekend as this program comes on Tuesday. Now, what have I got in today's program? It's a unique program in a sense that we're discussing something which we rarely discuss on the show, but which is something as important, as equally important as Africa itself. Now, tourism is a growing industry in Uganda. So what's coming next? What is next now that the industry has started growing up? Now, since independence on October 9th, 1962, Uganda had a huge income coming from tourism because of her natural beauty and wildlife, which led the former British Prime Minister Wilson Churchhill to call the country, or to describe it as the Pearl of Africa. Now, however, over the years, the country has had her ups and downs like many African countries. Military coups, violent elections, AIDS virus in the 80s and 90s, and of course, one of Africa's most violent dictators, Idi Amin, all have had an impact on the country. Now, but for the last 35 years, the country has had political stability under President Museveni, one of the longest-serving presidents in African history. Tourism is one of those industries that have benefited from the stability. Hotels are up and running. Various places in the country, there are campsites managed by Ugandans in various parts of the country, and the industry is further promoted. Now, Ian, before I introduce my guest for today, let's have a short break.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Welcome back. My guest today is Ian Biguli, a banker here in London who has promoted tourism, the tourism industry, on his website, packed with photographs of Uganda's wildlife and hotel. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Now, why should somebody visit Uganda? Why visit Uganda? You must be you must be love the country to promote it. Why visit Uganda? It's the first question anybody's going to ask anyway.
I think Churchill said it all, right?
Yeah.
Because the Pearl of Africa.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether our viewers actually know who he was.
Yeah.
Okay?
He was a British Prime Minister.
He was one of the British big prime ministers.
Yeah.
He led in 6 monarchies.
Yeah.
The historians say he was a very tough person whenever he was in charge.
Yeah.
They also say that he led Britain successfully through the Second World War.
Okay,
that's very important. See, that's how strong this fellow was. Right?
Yeah.
And then he decides to go to travel Africa.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Uganda. That was in 1907.
Yeah.
Then he returns back to Europe and writes a book.
Yeah, about Uganda.
About his personal experience in Africa. It's called My African Journey. It's on Amazon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the viewers can go and buy it.
Yeah.
And in there he states the diversity, the waterfalls we've got, the savanna lands we have got, and that summarizes Uganda in a nutshell.
Okay.
Now, obviously, we all know that the Pearl of Africa is Uganda.
Yeah,
the only reason for that is because we've got unique items. Uganda is a landlocked country, 45 million people.
Yeah.
So those are the key things that people need to know. We have approximately 10 big national parks.
Yeah.
Right? We have the Makshan Falls, which is the main one.
Yeah.
And the waterfalls actually are 46 meters. The fall is 46 meters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These are some things that we need to know. Okay, then we have the CP Falls. We have approximately 14 different waterfalls in Uganda.
14 different.
14 different.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't
Yes,
know that.
yes.
I've only visited one or two.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You see, and we have water rafting spots there. We have got the Semliki waterfalls, the Seziwa Falls. We do have a lot of things out there that people do not know. Okay, we have the Kidepo National Park.
Yeah.
Now they say that it's going to be the Masai Mara of Uganda, right?
Okay.
Because of the similarity, we've got a huge influx of giraffes there, the landscape, the culture of the Karamojong people, the dancing, all those small things people do not know about Uganda, right? And then we also go further and say, look, we also have the Bwindi National Park, right? So we do have we have 2 places in the world where you can actually see the mountain gorillas.
Yeah, right.
Yes?
Yeah.
Go to Bwindi National Park and then Virunga Ranges, right? And this place has got the Valconi Ranges, which stretch up to 176 kilometers.
You're done. You're really done. Yeah.
I mean, that's the passion I've got. That's why I am so Ugandan, right? I'd say it on my shirt. But yes, so because of that terrain, the mountain gorillas survive better, right? And most of them are obviously on the borderline with Uganda, Rwanda and Congo. These are some things that people do not know. Uganda, as Winston Churchill says actually in his book, is endowed with snow-capped mountains.
Yeah.
Stephen, did you know that Uganda is one of the few places in the world where you can wake up in the morning, go skiing up in the hills, drive down the hill after 2
With
hours.
snow, skiing on snow.
On raw snow in the Rwenzori Mountains, drive down the hill and have brunch on the lakeside in the heat. You see? That's a concept that people do not realize that we have. And the snow we've got is the raw snow. It's not man-made.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So here we know when you go to Spain, you go to Italy, it's all man-made. They create paths for you, right?
Okay.
But in Rwenzori Mountains, it's all natural, raw snow.
Yeah.
We do have athletes that go there to test, to do practice sessions in the snow.
Okay.
That's
really?
that's another fact that people don't talk about, right? When you go further down, we have the Chubali, we have the Kibale National Park. Now that is the headquarters of chimpanzees. That is called the chimpanzee land. The other day I met one of our tourist consultants. Actually, she's a very big consultant in Uganda. She's called Priscilla Butajura. She told me about the concept 4 years ago.
All right.
So we sent the K Media research companies to go and find out exactly where this place is. This place is called Chimpundu Lodge.
Chimpundu Lodge.
The website is www.chimpundulodge.com.
All right.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's this guy built the cottages within the forest, right? With the leaves and the branches within the chimpanzee land. Right? And then obviously what happens is
there's no fear there that any of the chimpanzees could come. There's a thrill about it. The chimpanzees could come and attack you. Or something.
No, these are chimpanzees have got a different type of species. So we have 1,500.
Wow.
In Chibale alone, right? So if you do 5-a-side and have a banana in the morning, so you're in this cottage hanged up there in chimpanzee land, and you're having the banana for breakfast. You share with the banana, the chimpanzee running around. You see, there's some beauty about Uganda. There's so much that people don't know, and that's why we sat down 8 years ago and thought, two people don't know. When I was in university, I would meet people. Do you know Uganda? No, where is Uganda? Oh, then you think, oh my God. Do you know Source of River Nile? That's in Africa. Yeah, but
somewhere in Africa. Yeah,
exactly. So we thought, you know what? Let us do something about this, and that's why KI Media World was born.
You're right. Yeah.
8 years ago, we sat in my living room with my colleague Ken and said, you know what? Let's do something. Let's sell the untold story. People need to know the positive, the good things about Uganda. And that's why...
Tell me something about the song. The song that you wrote and the song which was produced by these artists. We're going to listen to it in a couple of minutes.
Yes. So the song is called Mama Africa Uganda. And because music is an international language. Everybody in the world, on the planet, knows something about music. So we turned around and thought, you know what? Let us also speak the language. Let us spread the word about Uganda through music.
Let's listen to it. Okay, it's coming up in a minute. It's coming up in a minute.
Yeah, just through music that we then thought, let's generate this. Let's find out a way how we can do it.
Uganda, East Africa. Let me take you to Mbale, show you mountain air, go and we dance kadodi. Then to Jendo Kaware, Marambo Fesho Simbatware, Bunyoni, Uti Webi Tuesday, and Jaydin to Boneku, source of the night. Too many places to see, and poor in Africa, Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Katibe Tanzania, let me take you around in my Africa. Wakanda le.
There you go. It says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. It says it all. It says it all, and of course with the beauty being shown in the background.
Yes, and that video was is 4 minutes long, and we got so much to talk about, really. So the history behind this was, I sat down and went to Uganda in December 2020 with my cousin. He's a big writer of music. He's called Razi Duff. So we sat and said, let's do something, create a song that will show the beauty about Uganda.
Of course, yeah.
So he said, okay, let's do this. So we sat down, we wrote a script. I came back to the UK and he sent me the script, and I thought, wow, let's just do this. So we sat down, wrote the song, and then he said, look, let's also get some local artists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, let's start identify the local artists, the upcoming young artists. Those artists you see in the video, all of them are young, upcoming artists. We have Risley, we have Lanesha, we have Rachel Ways, we have Molly Brown, and we have Big Mo, and then of course we have the director.
Are all those their names or just promotional names?
Those are, artists have got different names. Very soon you're going to be calling me Big Ian, right? No, that's a joke. But so artists have the way. So they started and said, look here, we are promoting Uganda. We didn't even pay them. They didn't get paid. They just came with a passion.
It brings me to the whole point. You paid for this, or you're just doing it for the passion of it?
It's the passion. See, sometimes when you sit down and wait to get paid to do something, it doesn't work. Okay, so it's for the last 8 years, it's been a self-funded project. Okay, it's the passion we have. Just to sell the story. So many people don't know about what's happening in Uganda in terms of tourism. Okay. So for example, did you know that in Uganda we have like water skis, we have water rafting areas in Jinja, and did you know that Oxford University always sends their students
to go there for training?
For training.
For training. Before the Oxford and Cambridge race.
Exactly. You know that?
I've read about it.
Exactly. Not everybody knows that aspect of it, and that tells you something. Prince Harry has been there rafting with his colleagues. But, and also, do you know that Uganda have got one of the few best golf courses as well? In Kabale, in Kabale we've got a good, the 9-hole one, and the bit about that is when you're playing the golf there, you are dodging not only the little humps and trees there, you also the wildlife. So we get the crescent crane landing there sometimes when people are playing golf. You don't get that anywhere in the world.
Now, the key thing here is obviously your promotion is very good. And it's not paid for. You're doing it for the passion of it. But what I'm trying to find out is how are you selling it to Ugandans themselves? Because the biggest problem that is really happening, that I've seen all over Africa, is we find it difficult to sell Africa to Africans. And if you can't sell Africa to the Africans, how are you going to sell Africa to the Western world when you can't sell it to Africa?
So this is the thing. So we obviously came up with a strategy. What you're saying is absolutely correct. We came up with a strategy. Say we live in the UK. And we said, look, let's take the opportunity, let's get the chance of spreading the word here. And we're doing this through other channels, radio stations, billboards. We travel, we travel around the world promoting Uganda. We attend events, like we just come from the World Travel Market event in Expo Center.
Of course,
Yes, so every February we go to the one in Berlin, we go to the one in Orlando, in Boston.
Orlando, Florida, Florida in America. Yeah.
So we do that by attending and having a stand there or a stall there. We are spreading the word, and people get interested with this crazy guy behind here. You know, the mountain gorilla is one of the best sellers we have got there. You see, and so one of the ways that also we spread the word is even with Africa, because Africa is a fantastic continent.
Of course it is.
Many people still do not know or understand the logistics. We have one of the best cultures, for example, in Uganda, right? When you go to Karamoja, in Karanga town, right, you find the local herdsmen. So 2 years ago, KM Media decided to look at that aspect of it, and we approached a particular homestead and said, look, we want to promote you. How can we do it? And they said, look, you know what? Just bring tourists with us. We sleep with them here. We eat our food with them. We drink our ajun with them for a night, and then they are happy and they go. And Stephen, believe it or not, that is happening now.
Really?
Tourists go and stay nights with them in these beautiful cottages which you'll be seeing in the photographs.
You're not worried about mosquitoes and other...
No, you see, tourists... One thing we should also know is tourists have different categories. Okay, so there are tourists who want to go for a golfing tournament, right? That becomes a tourist as well, right? We got tourists who want to go on farmland. Okay, for example, there's a farm called Mbura Farm. On this farm, everything happens, right? From milking the cows, from preparing all the cow ghee and the butter and everything else. And people go there and spend 10 days looking at all these things and involved in it.
It's the uniqueness, I think. It's because when you've lived abroad or when you've lived where you are, like here in the UK, and these things become unique. You look at them and you say, wow, this is very unique. I must go and experience it.
Exactly.
I think it's that sort of uniqueness which is existing. Now, Kenya, Namibia, and I think South Africa have got a tourism industry, which is a massive one, and especially Kenya, who is neighbor to Uganda. But they have branches here of, say, white companies, tourism companies that they operate together with jointly. In the say that when the tourists live here, they have actually paid all their money here. By the time they reach Kenya, South Africa, where they don't really spend that much because they have already spent their money here, and then this tour company pays those countries the money. Now, have you ever thought of something similar to that? Because if you have a tour company here, and you have maybe, as you have artists in Uganda, as you have another company there in Uganda, would that be more beneficial than simply working on it on your own?
Not really, because our objective is to promote Uganda, to tell the untold stories that people need to know but have never had the chance to know this. That's where KM Media comes into play. When you start talking about those three countries, I mean, Uganda got independence in 1962, right? Kenya is 1963, 12th December. Namibia is
recent.
It's recent, 1990,
right? 1991,
yes.
92,
Yes. So South Africa, you see, and if you know, the countries that we mentioned as well, all have coastlines. They all have coastline. They're not landlocked countries. Therefore, when the Western world came into Africa, the first point of call was where? Namibia, South Africa.
The coastlines,
and the feeling they've got is beaches and that sort of stuff. So then they start selling those individual countries quicker in the Western world, who then start doing packages to go and sunbathe in Mombasa or in Windhoek, right, in Namibia. And that's why those particular countries are so huge. But as the landlocked countries have become slow in developing tourism, simply because people did not know about what we have got. I mean, Winston Churchill, as we said, saw something. But if he was alive today and we showed him the Semliki Falls rafting sessions there, he would think, oh my God, this is...
How did I miss this?
Exactly. So right now, KM Media, what we're doing is to tell that story that was missed to the outside world. And what's happening now, we're even growing faster than Kenya, than all the countries.
The tourism industry.
The tourism industry, because people are now becoming more and more aware. We have so many unique things, right? For example, now, because of the distances involved. So going to Kidepo is about 4 hours, going to Kabale is about 6 hours. So now we have domestic flights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can fly
from within the country. Yeah.
Yes, there is a company, Aerolinks, is doing a very good job, right? They have marketed themselves very well. Rajesh and Jeru, she runs that marketing team there.
Okay.
You can charter flights, and it becomes more logical. So you've arrived from the UK at Entebbe Airport.
Yeah.
You don't want to go drive 4 hours to Kidepo. So right, what a charter plane, you're 8 of you, they're 8 seaters. You go to Kidepo.
Yeah.
45 minutes, 1 hour, you're there.
Yeah.
Do your thing. You might want to go to Bwindi to check out the gorillas. So you see, 10 days holiday is all sorted. So those are the things that people need to know. We are getting there.
I like the passion. The passion is great.
Yeah.
One Ghanaian diplomat I met here in London told me that one of the biggest, when it came to tourism, one of the biggest things that Africa has failed to do is, as we are talking about, selling herself.
Yeah.
And he was trying to say that what they are trying to do in Ghana, he works with the Ghanaian embassy here in London.
Right.
That what they're trying to do now is to bring in education so that if a tourist is going to happen, if tourism is to grow big, let Ghanaians begin by visiting the various centers of Ghana. And they started that with the Ghanaian schools, whereby students from whatever parts of Ghana go to areas like Damina Castle, where the slave trade took place, and it's various areas in Ghana to show, because if they don't visit them, why would an American person come and know where the slaves were, and the Ghanaians don't know? So they try to start this within the school structure that is even there within the school syllabus. Do you see yourselves getting into Uganda and telling the Ugandan ministers, involve the schools to tourism? Because if it begins with the students, to educate them about the country, because most of the things you're mentioning here, I didn't even know about them.
Exactly.
So if I had learned this at school, maybe I would have spared some time and said, I think I need to go to Wingi and visit the gorillas, or I need to go where. Does that, how are you going to go about to get the ministers and get the people within the tourism board to make sure that this begins within the schools, as Ghana is trying to do?
Yes, but believe it or not, it's happening now in Uganda.
It's happening.
Yes, so we have like the YMCA in Uganda does certificate courses on tourism. In Jinja, there's another school there. In Kabale, we are in talks now with a colleague of ours to set up a tourism school. So Care Media is going to start looking into that as well. Because we need, as you said, you're right, we need to educate everybody to know what tourism is about, to know what they've got. So we need now to start looking at domestic tourism. That's one thing, again, Care Media, we're talking about. We're telling people, you guys, you need to go to Marketing Falls and see the place yourself. Forget about coming in the UK for holiday and all that sort of stuff. You know? And see what that as well is the culture that was put in our heads. So to go on holiday means you've got to go abroad.
You don't have to be in the country.
You don't have to be in the country. And then, so that's because of the pandemic as well, which has now helped us to drive everything in different direction. We are now focused, well, Care Media is focused on promoting domestic tourism. And going back to your question, yes, the Ministry of Education is started to look into that. They have done pilot schemes already. Okay, Care Media will never go into the ministry. We don't. No,
the issue is if you become like what are they called? If you become like these people who you know, people who fight for something. Like you push something. I mean, they are called what? Even now at the summit, there are people outside.
So
the 2020.
I know what you're saying.
The people who push certain principles to go through, because they said, look, now we are talking about preserving the trees. We are talking about the ozone layer. We are talking about our way of life, which is being destroyed because the earth is warming up. We need to plant more trees. We got those. They are called fighters or something.
The name. You know, the thing is, though, Care media is not to do with that, because we are just selling a story. We just want to tell people a story, right? We're not pushing, we're not demanding for stuff. We're not saying do this, do that.
You don't want to be activists.
No, we're not activists at all. Definitely not. We're the other way around. We're very simple, happy people. Right? That's another thing as well. That
because the reason why I'm saying that is that sometimes if you don't become an activist, certain things don't happen. Especially if we're going to change the school syllabuses, the chances are, however much you're going to blow, people are so comfortable with the way they are, unless the media, for example, you're in the media, you know how the media operates. The more bombardment you do with the ministries, with the government, and say this policy has to change. This has happened in Ghana. It is, that's why the Ghanaians are saying, hey, hang on a minute, we need to do this, because they have come here, they've seen what's happening here, and they say we should change the system as well back home.
Thing is, we are nowhere like that. We are just saying, this is the story, this is what we're going to do, because we don't have that authority. We don't even have a clue how to run a ministry. We don't we don't even have a clue how the government runs these things, because we're not qualified in that field. We don't have so we're going to leave that to the professionals to go and be activists and whatever. But we are only simply saying we have a story to tell. This is what we want to do, and take it or leave it. We're going to spread the word around. I mean, for example, now in Uganda, I don't know whether you know that we also have like different locations within Kampala city to go and visit. We have the monument there. We have Kiwuli Mosque, has got a huge history in that mosque. The things Gaddafi built a few things for us in the mosque. You know, the chandeliers and all that. There's a huge history behind that.
Coming from Libya.
Exactly. So it's very important that
there's the king this Lugad's fort, which is somewhere in Mengo. I think.
Then we also have, of course, the equator, which goes right in the middle. And those that comes with the bonus of the weather. Okay, Uganda has no winter or summer. We have this temperature, we have 2 rainy seasons, which then brings in the element of the food that we grow. It's all organic stuff, right? Potatoes, avocados, these things are all there. And that's why we also, because of the culture, the way it's prepared, all the food that is prepared is so different. So by saying that story alone, people from the Western world will want to come and test this food, learn how to cook these particular things, right? This is what's happening in Kidepo, in Karanga, that home. They are teaching people how to do it traditionally with firewood, for example. They say. So those are the small things that we strongly believe, people need to know outside. Then who knows? We don't want the whole world to go and visit Uganda.
Why not? Why not?
No, but we want a few people to come in and boost the economy, because we know also tourism contributes 10% of the GDP to the global economy. Right? So 800,000 tourists came to Uganda in 2007. It shot up to 1.4 million.
Goodness, you're well informed about it.
I'm crazy about this. I research about we just came in, also like we're going to research team led by Sandra. So she obviously helps us on the ground, what's happening there, so we're passionate about this. We just want to say the right things.
Okay, now I spoke to one of the businessmen, a Ugandan businessman, and another one is a Kenyan businessman. These people, once one of them had a hotel, and they were telling me that one of the biggest problems we have, not just in Uganda but in Africa as a whole, is investment in tourism. Is one of the most difficult things to get profit out of, especially if you're going to build a hotel or you're going to build some kind of campsite or something like that. There is no proper guarantee that you get your money back within a certain period of time. You may have those things there and they run to a certain for a certain number of months or even years without actually being used or something like that. And then on top of that, there is something something about insurance, because the various ways, like in Tanzania and I think Malawi, where they were saying if one tourist from Australia, I think, was suing a company in Malawi because of something that had happened to him. And practically the company went down.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So I'm saying these are all what businessmen are saying. I'm trying to see whether the coming in would involve the government at some point or another to say, hang on a minute, okay, we need this portion. You need this as well as a joint venture in case anything goes wrong. Do you see that happening?
Well, I think we should also go back and understand ourselves. What is tourism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tourism, in layman language, is the process of traveling to another location.
Okay.
Out of your normal activities, either for leisure or for business, or for any other reason. But that change of movement to another location for either leisure or for work or business, whatever it is, that's what tourism is. So putting that in mind, setting up a business in tourism, you cannot set up a business in tourism because you've got to look at what happens. So this guy is in Netherlands. He's saving £5 a year to travel to Uganda next Christmas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he goes on the internet and finds people like KI Media World and looks at them and says, okay, so I can go and oh, Uganda has got around 1,090 species of birds. Yeah. And I'm a bird watcher. 190, approximately 190 species of birds in Uganda. We have the shoebill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with then we have one called the Rwenzori tarmac, named because it's got green and a red neck. That bird actually is quite rare. So somebody came up and named it. You Google it. It's on the internet.
No,
the Rwenzori tarmac.
Listen,
you don't get anywhere else, right?
I can't challenge you with this knowledge. I can't challenge you with this knowledge because I feel guilty that I don't know most of these things because I'm from the country.
Oh,
so,
yes. In Kidepo National Park, there are 450 types of birds just in Kidepo National Park alone.
Gosh.
You see? So you're putting that in context. So this individual who's looking for a travel thing, finds that information on Media World and maybe emails them or then makes more research where he's going to get the package. Right? So then he gets, so that's a different company.
You could sell this to bird watchers. There's so many of them in this
country. This is what I'm saying to you. So we have a huge bird watch society that comes from Boston, Massachusetts in the US, that goes to Uganda once a year.
Just to watch birds?
To watch birds. With these expensive cameras. I've never done bird watching before, but I've researched about it. It's supposed to be something that calms your mind down because you spend about 2 hours waiting for the shoebill to make a move and then you write it down. It is fantastic.
You could turn up there and the birds go in another direction and they don't come back.
Or they might not even turn up. This is what happened. But it's the passion that people have got. And I say, going back to the point, tourists have different stages. So then you have the service industry at the end, those who serve the food in the hotels.
Okay.
Then you get maybe the owners of the hotels. Then you have the transportation people who do the, so it's a package. It's a series of different bits. So it's so difficult to own all those bits. It's not even economically viable. So hence
that's why it's difficult.
Exactly.
To run
an entire thing. So what you do, you partner with the different sectors I have mentioned.
Okay.
Because don't forget, they would go to the farmer who's digging the pineapples. Okay.
The food industry.
The catering, the actual physical, the taxman has to come in as well in some cases in the process.
That's where the government comes in. So the
government actually facilitates for us. I mean, I'm talking about on behalf of KI Media World. The government facilitates us in the sense that they have set up these places, right? The zoo, Maxon Falls, and the airstrips. We've got about 41 airstrips
in Uganda.
Forget about Entebbe, small domestic airports. So Civil Aviation Authority have actually put themselves to make this ready so that for the small flights, to avoid you going by road, you just fly from point to point. You see?
You could make a very good president of Uganda, I
am non-political completely.
You're well informed about this. This is what I'm so surprised because I'm a Ugandan, by the way. I have to say that. and I'm Ugandan, so I know the country, but I thought I knew the country better than anyone else. And you're talking about birds, you're talking about things which I went to school and studied over there.
Yes.
And I'm not denying or putting you down or anything, but it's just that I find that the knowledge you have, I just wish I had the same knowledge.
Yes, because when you're passionate about something, always in life, when you really want something and you're passionate about it, you make research about it. You go and buy it. You go and do all these things. So I'm saying to you, so it's our passion. So we save and buy these cameras and save and pay people to do work for us.
Okay. Now, the passion for K-Media, now I'm looking at the company rather than an individual. The passion for the K-Media to be so involved with the tourism is a very interesting one, because you could have ventured out to something else. You could have ventured out into something other than tourism. You know, culture, just the normal culture of the individuals and so on. But you wanted that particular one. Is there anything that is, I know where you have the passion, but something has to drive that passion. Did you tour as a child?
Yes.
Did you go out and tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So I was unfortunate that I went to some good schools in Uganda. And in those schools, we used to go for tours, like to Maxon Falls for the weekend, or to Ginger Owen Falls for the day.
Okay.
So that started picking up, and then obviously I got exposed when I did travel to do my education outside Uganda, right? And then picked up from there, and then
so the Ghanaians are right now. The Ghanaian diplomat is right now about exposing this to schools. I can see where your interest is, because he was saying that it's not happening in Ghana, and they are trying to do their level best to make sure that Ghanaian schools go. So Ugandan schools could do something similar. It used to happen, as you're saying, but it's no longer there. So somewhere along the way.
No, today it's happening now. It's now picking up a bit. Yes, it's not happening now. I know for a fact, because I know people who have approached. It's so funny, Stephen, how people approach us with ideas and stuff. Right? So we get people approaching us and say, look, there's this school of here. There's this school here about tourism. I want my kid to go and do tourism. And then you start now coming into play.
Because there's a degree about it, actually. You can get a degree in tourism.
In Uganda, all these things are there. It's the syllabus in the Ministry of Education, I think, is what you're talking about. That one, of course, I don't know much about what's going on there, but I know for a fact that that's also going to be implemented. It's probably in the project scale right now, but it has to come in. Again, it depends on so many things, what the objective is you're trying to achieve. Okay, so this is where K-Media comes in again and says, okay, let us help out here. We don't want to know what's happening in Ministry of Education or whatever. Everybody is good and happy. For us, we just want to tell the story to the outside world, even to our local Ugandans, to start domestic tourism. Obviously, with the pandemic, that has hit us really, really badly. The UN anticipates that the recovery is going to be about 2023.
It will take quite a long time.
Quite a long time. But again, it starts now. See, three things come in mind. So, vaccination, education, and logical thinking. So by vaccination, I mean if we quickly vaccinate
almost
the people,
everybody,
right? So that the tourist feels confident that when they're going to come to Uganda, there is a bit of some normality there. That would be great. Okay. Second thing, obviously, is educating people about SOPs. So the good thing about what's happening now, like last year, the hotel industry decided to go around different regions to educate the waiters, people in that service industry, how to approach clients and the SOPs. That's what's been going on in the background, by the way. Okay. So things are happening in the background, preparing for the future, which is going to happen soon. My third point of logic thinking, of course, we're going to sit down and think, okay, now you know what? Let's forget about tourists from abroad, because it's going to take a while.
We do it inside. But that also comes down to people's thinking, the mindset. And secondly, it also comes down to those with the money, like I was saying about the business people, those who are really willing to invest the money there, because we can't rely on the government to do most of this stuff. We could also have to think about ordinary people who have got the money, for example, and say, like now, so many people have started schools in Uganda. And you wonder, whoa, someone has money, he starts a school. So it's easier to give a chance to others to go to school as well. Because schools used to be scattered. Someone has to walk maybe a mile or 2 miles away to the next school. But now, It's there.
Yeah.
Small clinics are coming up from different areas. Similarly, it still comes down to a mindset, and that's where K-Media comes in. Because part of what you could do is to move around, get some of these people who can afford, and say, hang on a minute, do you know you could do ABCD, you know, or even have a K-Media's hotel somewhere in Uganda, which can start, and that's an example to others.
That's true.
Is that in mind?
No, it's not, because we're not experienced in that hotel business, how it's run. I mean, for us, we've got so many hotels in Uganda, right? And again, tourists, right? You say it again. Tourists have got different types. You get the ones who want to come for first class. They even want to stay in the Sheratons and the Skies Hotel in Naguru. You know, or you get the ones who want to live in the villages, who want to live in lodges, right? So there is a particular cottage thing I'll just open up in the north, you know, called Akaki Lodge.
Akaki,
right? Fantastic Akaki Lodge. This guy got a swamp area and did it up. Beautiful, beautiful cottages, and it's 2 hours to Kidepo National Park. 2 hours to Kampala. He can't go wrong. So he's done that, of course, hoping to get people coming to go tourists, those even the local people in Gulu town, Kitgum. You can come there for a day and weekend, because it's got like kids toy things outside there. You see, so sometimes it's complicated to run everything that specialized in. K-Media, we're not specialized in all that. We just want to sell the simple story, and also people need to know what's happening in Uganda. Another important factor that we need to know, Stephen, is Uganda used to be was ranked one of the happiest people, the happiest culture, believe it or not. I don't want to say exactly.
My colleagues here would say that that title belongs to Ghana. They'll say it belongs to Ghana.
I think we were number 2 or number 3. I can't really remember the exact period, but suddenly we were in that category. And do you know why? It's all meant to be happy. You have to have the mental status. You've got to have eaten good food. You've had a nice rest. You see? So all those factors come into play for you to even smile. So this is the whole thing. So we get tourists who want to come and enjoy that happiness, and when they go back, they're smiling already.
I can say one thing here. You're a very good salesman. You can sell oil to the Arabs now. I'm
actually in a boring career. I'm in the banking industry, so I don't really know much about sales.
I think I was going to suggest you change that. You change that and become a salesman, because it will be easier. It will be easier because you have the knowledge about the subject. You're so convinced. If you can convince a guy like me, because I'm very rare convinced about something.
But do you know why it's easy to convince you? Because we have the facts there.
It's
all black and white. But obviously, like right now, Uganda Airlines is going to start launching direct flights to Kampala, to Entebbe. Can you imagine? That is 6 hours flight. So very soon, the roaring sound of Uganda Airlines will be in Africa. Just imagine that.
Talk about the cost effectiveness. Because this is one area. When you change your pound to Uganda shillings, and then you change your pound to cedis or whatever money in Africa, because this is what normally happens. You're looking at spending a certain amount there, or if you're dealing directly with the banks, because the tourists that I've spoken about, 1 or 2 individuals, a friend was going to film with Al Jazeera, and they were traveling to Uganda to film a couple of years ago in my village, and the first thing they was asking me is that, are we going to use our credit cards there? Are we going to deal with is the banking structure there? How is it? Because if we run out of money, because most tourists carry cash instead of carrying cards, because of our banking structure over there. Is that one of the things you could do? Maybe say, okay, if we make arrangements at K-Media with the bank, and a certain amount of money has to be kept back, or a certain amount of money has to be kept if someone to go with, instead of traveling with the $10,000 in his pocket, which can easily be lost somewhere.
See, that is really happening now, because as you say, tourism, as you said, with this government now, they have sort of like made the avenue for all these things to happen slowly by slowly. So the banking industry has also introduced like credit card facility, with mobile money stuff going around. So the tourism industry,
the mobile money.
Exactly. So the tourism industry now in Africa, and especially Uganda, which I know more of, is the financial industry has also come and helped a lot. So there's more security. Okay, I mean, you can go to Thailand or you can even come to Britain here, and the exchange rate is going to be crap. But same thing with Uganda. It's an African country, don't forget. So you're going to have these small challenges, but we are working. I mean, the system is working on them, and we should not sit down and lay back and say, you know what, because of the exchange
because
rate.
of this, then
exactly.
not going
there
to
are other ways of doing it. And some of these packages, for example, there is this is a brilliant story. There's a Lakato safaris. Lakato safaris.
That's in the north, yeah.
No. It's a travel company based in Kampala, in Naguru.
Yeah.
It's run by two twins.
Two twins.
Yeah. Brilliant. I met them here in the UK before COVID. They have that package whereby when they travel, when they organize these tour packages, you pay either the full amount up front, or there's some agreement whereby you, the tourist, don't have to go with the credit card and cash on the streets of Kampala all the time.
See, everything is taken care of.
Yes. So the Lakato safaris have done that, and it works for them, and that's why they are big. They're based in Naguru. Go check them out. The twins are the best sellers, I'm telling you, because when they go on the stand and the shows, and there are two identical twins there, and it's like,
you know who is who.
And they sell their story that way. That's another way of even attracting customers, because they have a story about that. So the Lakato safaris are obviously doing that, and many others are doing that. There's so many travel agencies in Uganda, and each of them have got their own thing going. Because the beauty is, obviously, UTB and they have designed a structure to facilitate pop-ups. That's why tomorrow you wake up and there's travel lodge next door. Because of the system that is there already, and to facilitate.
But now, is there a way which, for example, the Kenyans and South Africans and even Namibia, the countries that I've mentioned, there's an overall structure of, say, for example, a guideline which is set by an organization where you can't open a tour company unless you belong to that organization, because it's like a self checking scheme. Like, for example, they give you a license, so the license means they need to know whether whatever you're selling is the right product, so that you don't really, because whatever you're doing,
they have a system in place.
You have a system in place which can cross-check you out, and even take the license away from you if you misbehave or misuse it. Is that thing, does that exist in Uganda?
Oh yes. Over the years, as I said, over the years we have learned different things. Of course, we have made mistakes, right? You make mistakes, but then you jump back into it, right? So there's a structure in place. We've got organizations. We've got the hotel association. We have got the association that heads all the travel agencies. So all the grievances are all put there. So they share knowledge. They share knowledge, and also the national parks also have got their own, contact with the Uganda Tourism Board. So it's all working together as a team. And I need to give credit also to the Tourism Board and also the Wildlife Authority for helping us. I'm talking about Care Media, right? For helping us to facilitate in terms of giving us access to these places, right? Like Soroti Flying School, the Kisoro airstrip, and stuff like that. Giving us a small facilitation where you don't have to look back and think, oh guys, what is this? So that's the benefit of that. And I'm looking forward to the next song. We're also doing we're in the studios right now. We're doing another song, because
you'll end up being a producer.
That is something like that is something
you're going to trap money in all angles.
But it's not about money, because we don't even earn anything, right? Even the song.
No, it will come in time, because you've earned it. You've worked for it.
I'm glad you think like that. But the key thing, you've learned something today, right? So we're excited, and all I can say is, if anybody wants to know about Care Media World, they should go on our website.
In maybe 5-6 years time or 10 years time, Care Media is not simply going to stop at wildlife and stuff like that in Uganda. It's not going to stop at where's K Media going?
Well, we don't know the future.
You're mentioning K Media so much, and I feel like joining tomorrow.
We can't afford you. We don't know about the future, because right now it's just getting the job done. Making people aware, telling them the untold stories, and then maybe adding some value to the tourism industry. That's the main objective, really. So of course, because of the pandemic, things change all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we might change the tactic. Something might come up,
and move into something else.
And move into something else. We don't know. You can never predict the future, really. But it's something that we haven't even thought about that. Stephen, we're not that big.
But the reason why I'm saying is that you are very well informed about the subject. You are very well informed about tourism. You are looking at a professor, I should say. You're probably professors in the industry, and you are looking at various areas. You have seen where the hotels are. You've seen where everything is. So you know, and you even have the figures for how many how many chimpanzees are living in Uganda. That's what I'm saying is that with that kind of knowledge, somewhere along the way, you either have a tourism board that you're going to run and tell them exactly what is happening, or you're going to be guides somewhere. They are looking at you as a future that is really going to hold Uganda, sell Uganda. Not just to the Europeans, to the Ugandans themselves. You have sold Uganda to me, and I'm a Ugandan, and I would say no Ugandan has ever sold that to me.
I hope, I'm glad you're saying that, but we don't really hope to be that way. But we're actually now thinking of trying to focus on the China market, believe it or not. So one of my research analysts is now...
I was going to mention China because most of the tourists now are no longer coming from the West. Most of the tourists are now Chinese. All the ocean liners are packed with Chinese because they have the money. So the structure should be now we either move to Japan or move to China. Those are the areas now where the money is.
So don't forget, as I defined the word tourism. So it does not necessarily mean that you're coming to it. So even if you're going in business, so many of the Chinese that come for business end up doing tourism themselves.
Okay.
You see, that's where now we need to also educate the people. This guy is coming to build the road in Kampala. But on the weekend, he wants to go and look at to chimpanzee land to see the chimpanzees there and have breakfast with the lions.
Yeah, because I was doing, I've got do a program with a Chinese man who went to visit in Nigeria, and he ended up by doing projects in Nigeria. He ended up by even leasing land to do rice in Nigeria and so on, because he found a way through in there. Yet he went just to visit. So the chances could be there.
Yeah, of course they are. Definitely, without a doubt. And it's a huge market. Asia is a huge. I mean, already the UTB, already Uganda is there. By the way,
you were in China.
In the China area, yes. There is always every year the Chinese embassy organizes an equivalent of Qatar 2020 or equivalent of WTM in London.
Okay.
They have their own thing going, right? They get this place, invite the investors, the tour companies in China, and believe it or not, this is happening already. It's been happening for years and years. This is sort of knowledge again you need to know, because these things have already happened. So why I'm saying we need to come in is because we need maybe create videos in their language. Right, short videos in language. Say, oh, you know what? You need to come to Kabale, or you need to go to Kitgum and check this out. Right. So that's the thing.
It's going to be interesting to create a video in Chinese.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
It's so
you
easy.
Speak Chinese.
I don't speak Chinese, but my research analyst, Vesa, she's starting to look at learning Chinese. That's another thing. So in Uganda as well, we have people now who are starting to learn Chinese language. No, not because of Chinese influence, because there's a potential of having these tourism and people coming and who need to walk around the street. I mean, if you look at the big countries like maybe Cuba or whatever, their tourist industry is so huge because everybody is forced to do a degree in tourism, right? So how to greet people, I can speak Spanish, Portuguese, English. See, so those ones are well ahead, but Uganda will get there.
Now, sailing. This is one thing that I really love when it comes to Africa, because I really love the African continent, and I've interviewed politicians, I've interviewed various people in various fields, but selling Africa to the Africans, when we go back to that, I still have that belief that as you sell Uganda to Ugandans, you can still sell Africa to the Africans.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
that angle, say for example, tourists to come from Ghana, before you go to China, you go to Ghana, or you go to Niger, or you go to Kenya, go somewhere, and ensure that tourists can come from Ghana to Uganda.
Yes.
They can come from Nigeria. They can come from other parts of Africa. That angle. Ever thought of doing something similar to that?
That is happening already. So
it's happening already.
Yeah, there are 54 countries in Africa, right? We have the third smallest island in Africa. It's called San Tome and Principe. Have you ever heard of it before?
No.
Okay.
Probably.
It's an island with approximately 200,000 population.
Okay.
They have everything. Surrounded by blue waters, they're well known for.
This is in West Africa.
This is exactly.
It's in West Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lady called Joaquina Lavres. She's based in Canada. She brands that country like no tomorrow. She's actually worked with us in KM Media. So she's now trying to promote that domestic tourism. So we need to start linking together. So we are now talking to her to see whether we can bring tourists from there to Uganda and vice versa. Okay. So that's really starting to happen, because right now even in Uganda locals, they're having stag do's in Mombasa. The other day, one of my friends told me they were going to have a stag do in Mombasa, and I thought, okay, that is tourism, because they are going to spend. And again, with the domestic flights now coming in, right? We have internal flights. Uganda Airlines flying to Mombasa, it's flying to everywhere, South Africa. That helps a lot in promoting the domestic tourism. So that's happening a lot. We have also started that angle as well. The African angle. The African angle. Yes, we have. We're promoting. We promote Africa. So we promote Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, today we had an event in the Excel Center. So we met a Ghanaian guy, right?
I remember. I've just been telling my boss about him. He's a very interesting character.
Yes, so it was, I quickly had to record him because he has a story behind him. And that is promoting Ghana. So imagine if he could go back home and tell these people, and then they go to Uganda. So there is that linkage that now we are looking at. But again, we shouldn't feel sorry about it, because you've been in the UK for a long time. How many times have you gone to Buckingham Palace? Or how many times have you gone to Lake District?
The Lake maybe once.
Exactly.
I
have never been to Lake District. So it's just next door. It's next to me. I had just never. So it's a culture and mindset of people. When you're in Uganda, you think, I come Maxon Falls to do what? I'll go to Nairobi. I will go to London. See? I've never been to London Eye, but I've been to London Eye in Orlando. I've been to the one in Paris. You know what I mean? So that's the culture mindset that KM Media is trying to change to people and say, look, you don't have to go anywhere. Everything is within Africa, right? And Africa, for example, if you...
No, I think you should say this. You could go first explore Africa, then you can start exploring the world. I think that would be the best statement of it, because if you start from home, then you can start spraying across. Because otherwise, you want something new. They want something new. Maybe they have seen these animals already. They have seen whatever is there. So they want to go somewhere new. And maybe that's why the Africans are looking more at Europe and looking more at other areas. But you'll find that it's difficult for them to visit home. So the key thing is, let's encourage them to be home, to visit home as well. Spend some money here, because the British do it here.
Yes, they do.
They tour their own country so much. The Germans will tell you, "Oh, I've been here."
Even the Americans.
The Americans.
That's the thing we're trying to focus on, as I say to you. I mean, and educate the people. Africa. Well, not educate. Just tell the story of what's happening in Africa. Let me give you an example. If you go in Google and type in Mogadishu, and click on the images button, it gives you the images of Mogadishu. You will not believe what good things are in Mogadishu. The skyscrapers in Mogadishu, the white sand and blue waters. People don't talk about that. So we should start.
I think it's the political side of it, because what is happening onto one side of it. I mean, I was going to do Ethiopia a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a story on Ethiopia, and there's a war going on in Ethiopia, as you're aware. But the war is in the other side of Ethiopia. But the other side of Ethiopia, which is a very different area because it's in the Tigray region of Ethiopia. But the other side of it, people are touring.
Yes.
People are doing businesses are booming.
Do you know that let me tell you something about Ethiopia, right? So Ethiopia, Addis Ababa is the New York of Africa.
The New York of
Africa. The New York of Africa. The way they built the city in blocks.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when I went there about 10 years ago. It's built in blocks similar to New York on a hill.
Yeah.
And so the idea was to make it similar
to New York.
So it's called the New York of Africa.
Yeah.
And you know, Ethiopia never got colonized.
Yeah.
They have their own calendar. They have their own time, right?
They have their own,
they have their own Christmas and everything.
Yeah, Christmas.
And they're all surviving well. And they have a strong culture. They don't have even English, not their speaking language. They don't.
Yeah.
See? So that's another thing that people need to know, that, oh, hang on a minute. These guys have got something there.
Yeah.
Let's go and visit.
That is the oldest church in the world. Is
Exactly.
I think somewhere in Ethiopia. Yeah.
Exactly. It is in Ethiopia. Yeah.
And the kind of Orthodox religion. They
Exactly.
Have, they have the oldest Jewish Bible.
You know these things.
Yeah, of course. You
should come and watch the media.
No, I've interviewed them on show here.
Yes,
so most of the time they tell me, and I've been watching that, and they tell me all about their country, and they tell me about, of course, Christianity, which has changed. The British changed Christianity.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's for another topic.
But, and so I could talk about Christianity, just to mention this quickly. So now tourism has got different types. Okay. So now there's a small village called Kahondo in western Uganda.
Kahondo.
Yes, it's basically in the hills, whereby people live on top of the hills or on the slopes of the hill, and you think, my God,
they might fall down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But greenery and everything. I want to start calling it the Switzerland of Africa because it's like being Switzerland. So the whole point I'm trying to say is so KMD is trying to work to see, there's a church there called Ronyenye Church. So trying to work with people who are coming here to go and help in the church can eventually start doing the tourism. So you see how that comes in? They come in to cover in the church, Christianity, to spread the word of Christianity or whatever it is. And then that way they will help the local people. And who knows, the employment levels might shoot up in this particular village. Kahondo, Google it.
Kahondo. Yes. Which part of Uganda?
It's in western Uganda. It's about 20 miles before Kabale town. Yes, it's brilliant. It's just, it has everything. It has the hills, the weather, the people are so great. And I just like the greenery, the whole thing. You know.
Yeah, when you stand somewhere and you're watching the mountain and then you're looking at how the road goes.
Exactly.
Is that the area where the road goes around in circles?
That's going to Kisoro.
The road surrounds, it's actually built on a mountain.
Exactly.
You have to go around the mountain and then you come down.
Exactly.
I've seen
that's one in Kisoro.
Yeah, Kisoro,
But this one is in Kahondo also has got its own dam, the Maziva Dam. Have you ever heard of it? That's another thing.
Yeah.
It's a waterfall, a small waterfall there that again people don't know. It's a huge tourism attraction. So we Care Media want to tell the story.
You seem to have Uganda in the palm of your hand.
And you'll be surprised that there are more people who actually have studied the history, who have done this, who do it for a living.
Yeah.
And they're doing a good job. And there are so many care medias out there, trust me, who are bigger and have put in a lot of stuff, and which is brilliant. But we need more care medias.
Yeah, to be spread
because
around.
The story is so huge.
Yeah,
it is so huge. I mean, when you go to, for example, people think that when you go to Arua, for example, people think that, oh, there's nothing happening there. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff going on there. They have the cultural huts as well.
The cultural huts.
The cultural huts, right? And now because it's Arua has been built to be like a city. So that has tended to attract people now to go there for holidays and stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So those are small things that people need to know, that you don't have to all go to Kabale all the time or whatever. You know, no.
You have to see anything.
Go and see these places around. You know, Lake Victoria has got many islands.
I know.
Right?
I know.
One of the islands is a sanctuary for bird watching, right? Now Ugandans there apparently are now starting to do bird watching, which is brilliant, right? But then the kids, they can jet ski in there. You can do all these things. You know, we also have different type of tourism. So people in the UK want to play polo. I don't know. Do you play polo?
No.
So we do have all these stables in Uganda. We have Katatumba has got horses. We've got in Ginger there are 2 stables. I've forgotten their names. Horses for playing polo and stuff. So there are tour companies that can now arrange that. You want to go for a stag weekend and play polo? Yes, and the difference with the horse polo in Uganda and here, ours natural grass. The horses are stepping on natural. They are grown natural. Here,
not the artificial one.
No, the horses here are wearing shoes and all this sort of stuff. No, but I think it's important that the world knows about Uganda, because it's, you know, there's a lot of positive things about it. I mean, like every other country, you've got ups and downs, right?
Of course. Like
so we're going to keep posing and pushing forward and go and see this guy. Check him out. Yes.
Now, when I look at it and I see the way you've handled it, and the way K-Media, for example, with the massive photographs that you have, I think we're going to have a look at some of them before we go. The massive photographs showing the country and going through all that, and the selling point of that, which is a huge passion of yours.
For instance, that one, that is
the huge passion of yours, which I'm seeing at the moment. That is that one of the lodges?
Yes, that's one of the lodges. That's a Kaki Lodge. That's the one that the guy, that used to be a swamp area, and he's just done it up and built cottages. You can see there's solar electricity on each suit. Okay, so you've got a wedding anniversary or anything like that.
Okay.
You just use, just hire one of them. You can see the road in the background there. You see that connects now Kitgum and Kidepo National Park.
Okay.
So it's easy accessible, and it's just one of the many examples. Okay. The reason I've chosen this one is because this is quite fairly new. Okay. And the concept, the guy's concept is what's amazing. Because transforming a swampy area to that.
To that,
yes. Exactly. And the facilities there also first class. Behind there you can't see, but behind there there's a playground for kids.
Oh, really?
Yes. So because you can only go there for a weekend, you can take your family with you. Okay. And there's so many tourists that come actually with their kids and stuff. So you can also take care of all those small concepts around.
Okay. With the national parks, there is a lot that people really want to see. The Ugandans themselves to see these animals and to see what the parks are all about. Are we looking at that picture's now about the national dress? And
yes, so now this is very, very important picture. If you look at it, that's the kanzu for the men. It's the Ugandan traditional wear. It's worn with trousers inside, obviously. Okay. But it's made of silk, and it shows Uganda. That is the men's traditional wear. And the reason why I show that picture, because that was actually shot in the UK WTM event about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
The reason I'm putting that picture there is because it shows the nature of the people we've got in Uganda. I mean, look at those three gentlemen there. Very happy guys. And that is a fantastic, I think it's a fantastic outfit as well. But it's very important, people need to know that. So when you see somebody walking on the street, you should not run away and say, oh my God, what's that? You know? But yes, it's important and very rich.
Okay.
Then of course now the next picture is the big man himself.
The gorilla.
Mountain gorillas. We have them. As I said, Uganda is one of the main. They are in Western Uganda, and they're the ones that mainly communicate.
This is the Birungi Mountains.
Yes,
the Birungi Mountains.
The Bringi in Bringi.
Bringi,
So we do have plenty of these, and they also. These species also communicate with the human being.
Ah, really?
Yes. Oh, yes. You can get close contact with them. You get close contact with them easily. So they are the good creatures to sort of. So we need to tell that story as well sometimes.
Okay, it's interesting. You're even telling us something about creatures. What about this one?
Well, this is it. So this is the snow-capped mountains we've got. So the skiing exploration that goes on. Okay. People fly into. This is all natural snow. It's not artificial snow. As you can see, there's even no path. They are creating the path themselves. So people who ski love this sort of situation. Okay, whereby they're going to get the energy and the buzz out of climbing up a hill and sliding down the hill. It's very, very important. We do get professional athletes going to practice from there. Again, don't forget that when you go down the hill where they started from, you get into a car and you can go and have brunch an hour drive away onto a lakeside.
And
you don't get that anywhere else.
You don't get snow at the same time and get the sun at the same time.
You only get it in Uganda.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? So people need to know that because it's very important. You know, that's why it's important that KM Media sells the complete story.
It's very interesting. How about these ladies?
So this is a traditional wear for the women, as you can see, beautiful women. That's another thing. Uganda has got one of the beautiful women.
It's even got white women in them.
Well, these are supporters, right? Yes.
Okay.
These are supporters.
Good.
She actually used
but we could still have white women anyway.
Exactly. Intermarriages have come into place. So so she's a huge supporter, and as you can see, that is the traditional way. It's called bodingi. You know, it's also part of the traditional way we've got. It's like 6 meters round around your waist, and it makes the women elegant. You're going to make them elegant, and you know,
elegant
in
a way.
Exactly. So that's a selling point.
This is the equator.
This is the equator, guys. Now this is very key because at the equator, when there's a bowl of water, if you put in a pen and spin it around, it actually goes round and stops
in the middle,
where the one points to the north and the south.
Okay, it doesn't stray in the middle. It just points to the
depending on what
it becomes a compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out of water.
Yeah.
That concept, people don't know about it.
Yeah.
People just drive past. They don't know what's going on, right? But the important about the equator again is this is what makes Uganda beautiful because of the weather.
Yeah. But then the south of the equator, north of the equator, the weathers are different. Is that where the difference comes in?
The difference comes in obviously when you go further north.
Okay.
Outside Uganda.
Okay.
That's when you get now to Sudan, and then you get the deserts and all. When you go further south again, it becomes different. Right? Okay. But in between there, it's tropical weather all year round. We do have 2 rainy seasons, 28, 29 degrees, 30 maximum all the year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is this the one where you're saying that
the chimpanzee land?
The chimpanzee land.
That's the one. Look at that cottage, right? It's bang in the middle of chimpanzee land, and so in the morning you can have breakfast, as you can see on the balcony there. And this place is called Chimbundu Lodge.
Chimbundu Lodge.
Chimpundu Lodge.
Chimpundu.
Yes. www.chimpundu. As it's pronounced like that, my African accent. Chimpundulodge.com.
Okay. .com. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It has just come up, and it's so amazing. The concept is fantastic, I think.
Building it up surrounded by trees.
Exactly.
And so,
yes. It's about 350 kilometers from Kampala.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Is there a worry of snakes and other animals maybe moving in at some point?
That's the thing. The bit about all this is that
the risk factor, in other words.
There's a risk factor always.
Yeah.
But because there are human beings in the area for a while, snakes and stuff like that don't tend to sort of like come in. So that is Lake Bunyonyi, right? That's also a very important place to mention because Uganda has got one of the largest crater lakes we've got.
Okay.
Lake Bunyonyi, that is an overland.
Yeah.
And you can see you can play chess, you can play different, you can have a barbecue there.
All right.
This is where you get the proper relaxation.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
It's in Western Uganda.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's very close to the lake itself.
It's on the lake itself.
It's on the lake.
It's really big on the lake itself.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So you can do. There's another picture there, or if in the video, that video is shot actually there.
Oh, well, it was
shot at
canoe where the musicians were performing.
Yeah, in Lake Bunyonyi.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a canoe. So it's just literally on the water, like yes.
Wow. Yes. That's very interesting. There's quite a lot to see there.
There's a lot to see there, and there are different islands in Lake Bunyonyi.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
That's
very interesting. It is. I don't know how I can describe this because it's having been born in the country and having gone to various areas of the country, and then obviously there are certain areas that I've never been to, and I would really love to, and I feel okay if I ever get the opportunity, I'll go and see these areas.
Yeah.
Despite all the business that we normally have, and we're busy running left and right, but it's a very good idea, and I think with Ugandans watching this program, there is something you've put into them that I have now about their own country.
Yes.
And I think other people will have something similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope, and I hope they also do the same thing and go out and tell the story to other people. Because that's the way it works,
Yeah.
networking. So if they believe what we talked about tonight, they should go out and also tell it in their communities, in their environments, and say, look, did you know that you can go skiing in the morning and go did you know we had 1,090 species of birds in Uganda?
No.
So stuff like that, which is very important because there's so many bird watchers out there. People who want to go onto farmland.
Okay. Now, Ken Media would have films or something like that to try and see that these things are spread around, because the big one other thing that we have currently is the social media.
Yes.
To try and do this and make sure that it is up.
Yes.
How are you going to make sure that this happens in a
Yes, so we do have different platforms.
Okay.
Okay. We've got a huge YouTube channel called KI Media World. It's a YouTube channel, and everything you need to know about Africa
is on
there.
Yeah. I can go there and get Ghana as well.
You can go and get Ghana. You
can go to
Nigeria, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Sudan.
You're selling the whole continent now. Yeah.
Well,
you're going.
It has to be done, Stephen. It has to be done because people need to know these things.
We're soon going to call you Mr. Africa.
Talking about Sudan. So Sudan is also well famous for their desert. So they've got desert sports.
Yeah.
You know these sports in the desert that you can do, like the quad bikes in the desert, like what they do in Dubai and stuff. It's all in Sudan. Yeah. You see? So we do have platforms. We also have the Facebook page, which is K Media World. Again, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. You just make it facilitate people to easy to go and look at what they want to check. So it's up their choice. What they want to see is all there.
Now we're coming towards the end of the program, and I'm looking at approaches that this whole K Media doesn't simply sell to the Africans and to the Western world. It sells to the entire world. How are we going to, if you can sum up in a few minutes, because the program is coming towards the end, which are the key points that you want that is going to help K Media?
Well, the key point that I want to help K Media is one, to the awareness of the Ugandans, to know what the beauty they have got. The awareness of the whole world knowing what Uganda is about. I want people in India to say, okay, you know what? I know where Uganda is. Right? They don't have to come to Uganda, but at least knowing where Uganda is.
Spreading the knowledge.
Exactly. Then you don't know, maybe their children will one day say, you know what, I want to go and see my grandchildren in Uganda. That is how it is. So we're just hoping, the objective of K Media obviously is to hopefully that one day pretty much everyone knows about Uganda. And it's achievable.
It is. It's achievable. It's not impossible. I do hope that you achieve that aim anyway, because it's not something that is easy.
You can't do it overnight.
No, you can't. It will take quite a number of years before it comes into. But at the end of the day, you have a starting point,
correct.
And that starting point is now. And whatever comes up in future will work to your advantage. I just want to say thank you very, very much for coming here and telling us all about it. And I do hope that other people have something similar to what you have in mind in terms of the energy and in terms of the drive that you've shown with your knowledge about the country and about Africa as a whole. I just want to thank you all for viewing us and for being with us on tonight's program. And I do hope that we'll be together again next week for another edition of Africa Speaks. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Obia Africa just show me beauty. Real love, no hate but goodie. Real talk but we love and fully. And when the rain come down, hell sweetie. And the sun coming down like that. Real black, no changing that. Black Panther, yeah, with big cats. When the nature shine on us. And the sun coming in like that. Real black, no changing that. Black Panther, yeah, with big cats. When the nature shine on us.